Hi, Right Riders. Cruz here. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, we are going to respond to a persuasive or argumentative prompt. The topic is focused on paternity leave. Sorry, not maternity leave, which we're used to, but paternity leave. So that allows fathers to stay home with their newborns while still earning pay and benefits. So, this is going to be a particularly challenging prompt for me because I philosophically, personally agree that paternity leave should be offered to fathers. But in this video, I am taking the opposing viewpoint. So I am taking the position that fathers should not be allowed to have paternity leave. Please keep in mind, Right Riders, I just started my timer. And again, I want to keep it at 20 minutes to give myself a bit more of a challenge. And my focus is to write, 160 words or as close to 160 words as possible in 20 minutes. So let's take a look at the prompt, Right Riders, because again, my timer is going. We've got 18 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here. It says some companies offer a paternity leave that allows fathers to stay home with their newborns for several weeks while still earning partial pay and benefits. Do you think this is a good policy? Why or why not? Explain your answer. So, in the previous video, I had looked at why this is a great idea. Again, in this video, as mentioned earlier, I'm going to focus on why this is not a good idea. So, of course, I want to make sure that I use the prompt and respond to the prompt in my thesis, or what will be my last sentence of my introduction and my first sentence of my conclusion. So, I'm definitely going to go ahead and take a position and say something like, I do not believe, or I'll end it with therefore. Therefore, I do not believe that companies should offer paternity leave, should offer paternity leave, or I do not believe that it is a good company policy or a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave for fathers of newborns. Okay, so therefore, I do not believe that it is a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave for paternity leave that allows fathers to stay at home. Okay, let me look at that one more time. Therefore, I do not believe that it is good policy. It is a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave that allows fathers to stay home. So I zoomed in quite a little bit, right, writers, just so you could see the typing. So I need to come up with an introduction. I've got 15 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to come up with an intro on why I do not believe that it is a good policy. So I'm going to go pretty cold and just focus on work, that work is work. And I'm going to sort of go in that direction here. So let's see. Um, hmm, let's see. I'm going to go focus on going to work being a privilege. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work And maybe rather than privilege, just think of it as a choice. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. People choose, people make choices every day. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. People make choices. Groceries to transportation to location. People make choices on everything from groceries to transportation to um, let me be more personable. Instead of saying groceries, what they will eat for the week, or from their dietary needs, their modes of transportation, to their modes of transportation, to their neighborhoods, to their neighborhoods. Work is no different. I think I'm going to sort of change this a little bit, right, writers, and making this at the end here. I've got 11 minutes remaining. Let me take that out. Okay, let's take a look. People make choices on everything from their dietary needs to their modes of transportation, to their mode of transportation, to their neighborhoods. I'm going to go modes because I've gone plural on everything, so I'm going to keep it plural. Work should be no different. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. So I'm trying to, with 10 minutes remaining, right, writers, I'm trying to figure out where to put in parenting, because I want, again, for adults, um, of just this idea of becoming parents. So I may need to change that. Adults make choices on everything from their dietary needs to their modes of transportation to their neighborhoods to, you know, Ugh, I'm just really struggling, right, writers, trying to figure out how to tie in work with parenting. So, work should be no different. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. Let me see. Maybe I'll say something like choosing to work requires, sometimes requires, or often requires, choosing to work often requires sacrifices. Choosing to work often requires sacrifices, especially ones that impact 8 minutes remaining, right, writers. So, work should be no different. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. Choosing to work often requires sacrifices, especially on parents. Choosing, requires sacrifices, especially on families, especially not for families, especially maybe I'll keep it on parents. Often requires sacrifices, especially from working moms, mothers, and fathers. However, deciding to have a family is also a choice. And placing that burden on fellow work colleagues, however, having a family is also a choice. And placing that burden on fellow work colleagues is unfair. Unfair. Okay, let's see with that, with 5 minutes remaining, right, writers, I'm going to end up copying this and making this really my conclusion. So I'm going to shrink this just a little bit and I'm going to go ahead and copy this now because, again, I've got like 5 minutes remaining. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and do some magic here by moving my thesis and making it my first sentence of my introduction. And then shrinking this just a little bit and making it a little bit more personal, taking this part out. And I've got probably 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes here to come up with a body paragraph. Um, um, Okay. Okay. However, having a family is a choice, and choices require. I'm trying to think of another word for sacrifices. Um, okay. However, having a family is a choice, and that choice should not fall on the shoulders of others. Okay, so I have 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining, right, writers? So I've got to come up with something in the middle. I really haven't checked my word count, and I'm not going to because I don't have time. So that allows fathers to stay at home. Um, I'll just say something like paternity leave opens a Pandora's box on employees taking time off for any minor family emergency, family for any minor family need, and maybe Pandora should be with a capital P. Pandora's box on employees taking time off for any minor family need, whether it's doctor's appointments, or soccer games. 1 minute remaining, right, writers, in 20 seconds. Um, uh, uh, employee leave, um, and employees leave work. That decreases productivity and decreases productivity and increases burden increases the production burden on others. In addition, um, it unfairly discriminates against workers to have children. Okay. So my timer is going off, right, writers? So I definitely want to, I'm going to just add another like 30 seconds here and just finish this sentence. Um, I'm leaving production increases the production on others. The production increases the production requirements onto others. In addition, it unfairly discriminates against workers um, without families and or children. Okay, so Right, writers, I probably, added another, 20, 30 seconds there, but I felt like that was fair considering that, um, for me, I just started the timer right away, number one. And so I will do that sometimes. I will allow myself some extra time here if I feel like it's the right thing to do. And I felt like it was the right thing to do under the circumstances. Now, what I did not do was check really the word count, and I have no idea how this essay is going to flow. So I'm interested to see what sort of happened here. Um, Again, I knew at the front end that this was not going to be my best work, and it was going to be a bit haphazard. But it's important for you all to see again the struggle when you've got, again, I know I went a little bit over 20 minutes here. Um, but again, I started the timer pretty quickly and trying to come up with again 160 words in 20 minutes on a topic that I do not personally agree with, because I do personally agree that employees, should have maternity leave and they should allow for paternity leave. Let's take a look at the word count, right, writers, though, to see. Okay, I'm at 226 words. So, first of all, I went way over the time, or the word count, rather. Let's just take a look at what I have and read the essay for flow and just seeing how it goes. So we'll see. Adults make choices on everything from their dietary needs to their modes of transportation to their neighborhoods. Work should be no different. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. Choosing to work often requires sacrifices, especially from working fathers and mothers. However, having a family is also a choice, and placing extra burdens on work colleagues is unfair. Therefore, I do not believe that it is a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave that allows fathers to stay home. Okay, I have to say, right, writers, I'm pretty pleased with the introduction. I think it sounds very strong and confident, and I actually am quite surprised at how well it flows and the strength of the voice in that introduction. Let's take it to the body paragraph and then to the conclusion. Okay, so I'm going to go from the last sentence of the introduction to the body paragraph because, again, I'm really looking for flow to ensure that, again, each sentence flows smoothly into the next, or the second sentence. Therefore, I do not believe that it is a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave that allows fathers to stay home. Paternity leave opens a Pandora's box on employees taking time off for any minor family need, whether it is doctor's appointments or soccer games. When employees leave work, that decreases productivity and increases the production requirements onto others. And I really should put that as a comma here. When employees leave work, it decreases. It should have been set up like that. It decreases productivity and increases the production requirements onto others. In addition, it unfairly discriminates against workers without families and or children. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and flow into our conclusion. Therefore, I do not believe that it is a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave that allows fathers to stay home. We make choices on everything from, okay, and again, I have we, which is first person, and then I have their, which is third person. So right here we're going to have a flow issue. We make choices on everything from their dietary needs to their modes of transportation to their neighborhoods. That should say and our, and I will fix that. Work should be no different. Going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. Choosing to work often requires sacrifices, especially from working fathers and mothers. However, having a family is also a choice, and that choice should not fall on the shoulders of others. So I'm going to make some changes here, and then I'm also going to shrink it to 160 words, or as close to it as possible, because again, I want you to see what that might look like. Um, and let's take a look. I don't know why I sometimes you'll notice, right, writers, that my keyboard just sort of jumps and pops me into different places. So we make choices on everything from our dietary needs to our modes of transportation to our neighborhoods. Work should be no different. Choosing to work. So I definitely am going to take this sentence out. I'm going to take out the part to offer paternity leave and then allowing fathers to stay at home. Choosing to work requires sacrifices, and that choice should not fall on the shoulders of others. I like that. Um, and I should have put, whether it is two doctor's appointments or soccer games. Um, and I'm going to take out without children or have without the families part and sorry, right writers, and then just move that one over. It unfairly discriminates against workers without children. And we'll go with that. Okay, so now I'll do a new word count, right, writers, with this editing that I'm doing here. So I wish again you had time to do that in the real world. Okay, so we're at 205, which isn't bad. Okay. And obviously it took more than 20 minutes here. Okay, I think I'm going to take out that going to work and earning a paycheck for that work is a choice. Um, and going just to choosing to work often requires sacrifices. And I think I already did that in my other one. Work should be no different. Okay, so now let's see where I am. Right, writers, and we're checking here. Okay, 192. We're getting there. Again, looking for 160. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, but Cruz, you were able to write all these words in 20 minutes or 21 minutes, which again is great, but not if the prompt is asking you to shrink it to 160. If that's what they want, if they want 160 words or less, then as a writer, I want to get as close to 160 as possible without going over. And I think I'm going to take this part about choosing neighborhoods, etc. Okay. And now let's take a peek. That might be the big one there. Ooh, 170, right, writers. I am getting there. 10 more words to delete here. Okay, I'm going to take out also and also in both of those. So having a family is a choice. Okay, so I just saved myself another couple words there. So I'm at 168. Okay, I could take out all of this here and just adults make choices on everything. And I think that would definitely get me to 160 because I would be deleting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I mean more than that. So I would definitely be under 160, but right over 150. So let's go ahead and remove it, right, writers, and see where we are. Okay, 156. Again, if I took out that, if I take out, um, deleting that first part on, again, having modes of transportation, what you choose to eat, where you choose to live, neighborhoods, etc. I just kept it with adults make choices on everything, which is true. So now that keeps me right at 160 or under 160. And again, that's really what you want to do. You want to follow the prompt. And as you can see, right, writers, it definitely took a big chunk away, but I think it works. And I think if we were, again, to read it, I think it would still flow. And so I'm just going to read it through one more time, right, writers. And so this felt more like an editing video, probably more than anything, but you can really see where I needed to make some choices myself in deciding what I was going to delete, what I would take away to, again, maintain the essence of the prompt and my position without sacrificing by adding too many extra words that were not needed and that would in fact take away points, let's say if we were taking the Oxford test of English. So let's take a look at it one more time, right, writers, and we will close out this video. Essay from the top, edited, shorter, 150, 60 word essay from the top. Here we go. Adults make choices on everything. Work should be no different. Choosing to work often requires sacrifices, especially from working fathers and mothers. However, having a family is a choice, and placing extra burdens on work colleagues is unfair. Therefore, I do not believe that it is a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave that allows fathers to stay home. Paternity leave, it's hard to say. Paternity leave opens a Pandora's box on employees taking time off for any minor family need, whether it is to doctor's appointments or soccer games. When employees leave work, it decreases productivity and increases the production requirements onto others. In addition, it unfairly discriminates against workers without children. Therefore, I do not believe that it is a good policy for companies to offer paternity leave. Choosing to work often requires sacrifices, especially from working fathers and mothers. However, having a family is a choice, and that choice should not fall on the shoulders of others. Okay, not too bad. I gotta say, if I were to score this, I'd give it like a B, maybe a B minus. So I would be interested in hearing your comments on this, right, writers? And I hope, again, this process was helpful and useful for you and me, kind of struggling, editing, figuring things out, and, you know, shrinking. Essentially we had to make some serious deletions, and deleting a lot of text, and obviously we went over the 20-minute mark, but it's good for you all to see, again, the struggle is real. And even as a native English speaker, I too will struggle with, not only with topics, but also with, having to follow the time constraints and the word count from test makers. As a test taker, I will also, just like you, again, struggle. So, keeping the struggle alive here with Right Riders with Cruz. Thank you so much, Right Riders, for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you all. Love you guys. And I will see you next Tuesday. Take care. Bye bye.